Sharks, what's happening? So, as the title of the video suggests, we are going over the first week of the Series 4 roadmap, the long-awaited Series 4 roadmap, the roadmap that is right on time, I guess, if you consider the start of the season to be the time when we absolutely, positively needed a roadmap, and it is here. Well, part of it is here. Part of it is here because, as you can tell, it is being broken down. This is the roadmap. It is a roadmap hub. There are different posts for every topic, and we didn't know it was going to happen this way, and that is all right. So we've got a week worth of posts, and this is if there's anything for the roadmap, it should be here under the label of roadmap, and here's where we are with it. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about what we know so far, what we're expecting, what we might have been expecting, and what any unanswered questions that may exist. So for beginning users, if you're just getting started, here are the things you need to know right now. Here's what we know so far based on week 1. And if you are initiated, if you've been here a while, well, then we'll get into some details. We'll get into the minutia and the mints and things like that, and we'll break it down. So here we go. The NBA Top Shot 2022-23, aka Series 4 roadmap. The regular season tips off tomorrow. Here are some specifics and things like that. All right. Legendary packs will be extra special and scarce this season. Each legendary edition will have a mint count of no more than 99 per play and no more than 99.50. And individual legendaries will be sold by NBA Top Shot throughout the entire season. Now, what this means is a very small reduction of, I believe, 50 individual legendaries, because I believe in Series 3 it was 10,000. This is the norm. I believe this is also the norm in NFL all day. So this does not mean that everyone is to 99, but it means that the max is to 99. So this is fairly par for the course. This does not give us any real information as to how many sets there could be. This does not give us any information as to what the sets are. In fact, we have this sentence. This season's rendition of our flagship legendary set will be tighter than ever. That is not Hollow Icon. Who was it? Library made the point that this does not say Hollow Icon, as you'll see a little later on, just very shortly later on. Metallic Gold LE is named. This is not. What does that mean? It could mean that they're renaming Hollow Icon. Would not be the first time. For those of you who are long time NBA Top Shot users, the first one was called MMXX, which I believe is Roman numerals for 2020, which would make all sorts of sense. And limited to just 50 plays with a game-changing twist in collaboration with our partners. So I don't know what this means. I have no clue. They will reveal that to us when they reveal that to us. This is obviously for the very highest tier of collectors. Probably the top 1% can even really hold one of these. So to be continued. Rarefied Air. Rare moments sold during the 2022-23 season will not exceed a $9.99 mint count. Now, this is a little interesting. For new users, we've gone through a number of different phases with rares. Metallic Gold for Series 1 was to $2.99. In Series 2, it was out of $4.99. In Series 3, it was out of $7.49. And now we're looking at a max of out of $9.99, which means that some of the higher minted rares, for example, Throwdown Series 2, if you go into the marketplace and look, Rising Stars Series 2, and All-Star Game 2021 and 2022, which were all above out of $9.99. Now any sets correlated to those, such as Rising Star Series 4 or All-Star Game Series 4. So All-Star, we know now for a fact that All-Star Game Series 4, if there is such a set, theoretically, will not be out of 2023. Instead, it will be out of $9.99. So no rares above 1,000. I think that's fantastic. I think it really helps to set things aside from some of the 4K commons. And then there's this. Rare tier moments will account for fewer than 2.79% of all total moments minted this season. Now, this, as I understand it, is a 1% increase from Series 3. At Microwave 4, my man tells me that last year was 1.79%. So that is almost double the number of rares. No word on how this will play out. I think the market would suggest at this point that Series 3 MGLE, and I'm not talking about everything, but that Series 3 MGLE is not being properly handled by the market. The market cannot handle currently the amount of rare supply that there is. Adding this to the current rare supply feels tough. I don't know how, let's see, a Series 3 Moritz Wagner will hold up, or Danny Avdia, I believe, has a metallic gold Series 3. Some of the lower caliber, like a Bojan Bogdanovic, some of the lower level, John Collins metallic gold Series 3 has not held up particularly well. But, and now we're going to see possibly double, but not in metallic gold. In metallic gold in particular, will feature just 3 players per team and be minted below 400. So this is a reduction. What does it mean? I guess it means we're going to see a lot more rare sets. That's what it means. I guess that means, and we're going to get to this later on because you're going to find out that there's another way to get rares this season. This will help ensure that the best collectibles are reserved for the best players and plays. More on this later. We don't know what it means because, as you can tell, there's no sets listed other than metallic gold, which is interesting. Again, I'm only worried because I don't know if the number of Series 3 rares will hold up with more competition from editions. Because for every, let's say there are 3 or 4 editions of a John Collins rare, right? In the rare tier. There's at least, I can tell you right now, there's Metallic Gold Series 1, there's Metallic Gold Series 2, there is Throwdown Series 2. Those are the only ones I can think off the top of my head. And there is a Metallic Gold Series 3. Now, if you say add 2 more, what is that going to do to the other rares? We'll get back to this in a minute because there's obviously more details on this. But the rare tier has suffered quite a bit since let's say February 2022. It has not had a ton of support. They would be you can release more rare supply with more rare drops and more hero ball level challenges, more veteran level challenges. There is also sort of the fandom tier. The fandom tier is not really described in here because it's not traditionally sold in packs. It's not part of, this post is more about tiers that are sold in packs. So let me just check time real quick, if I may. All right, I got to be speedy to get through everything in one post. These are more about tiers that are sold in packs with a 1% increase, which is almost double. What I expect is more rare sets. I think rares have the most upward mobility potential because they are significantly scarcer than commons. I mean, even if you add them all up, like Pascal Siakam has, let's say, I believe 5,000 rares across every series. Paul George, who is inarguably one of the best 15 players in the league at worst, has about 10,000 rares, right? He has a Throwdowns 3, he has a Throwdowns 2, he has an All-Star Game. I don't know if he has an All-Star Game, but he has at least 2 Throwdowns, which are both above 1,800. He has Metallic Gold 3, 2, and 1. He's been pretty healthy for the most part, at least healthy enough to be in a lot of different rare drops. So his threshold for rares only goes up. I would worry about, his rare prices have come down a lot in the last 6 to 7 months. I wish I could show you, but I guess I can, right? I'll come back to this in a second. Let's say we go to this just real briefly here. I would have to market. We don't have to log in for this. Players. Oh goodness gracious. Can we just? Okay. Well, that being said, point being that if I were to just, I'm pretty sure I can just do this, right? So if we look at this chart, see, here we go. If we look at this chart, year to date, boom, boom. And if I look at all of these, let's see, in the rare tier, they're all down quite a bit. And then there were 4 Series 2. That's another one. 145, current low at 61. They're all hovering around this range, except for the Series 1s, as you can see, because they're all in competition with each other, for our liquidity that we can spare. So it is a tricky proposition. It's it's tough to add more rares to this, to someone like this who is a great player, inarguably. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, when we see the actual sets that there are. Not so. This cracked me up the first time I saw it. It cracks me up again now. If you don't get the joke, I'm not going to spell it out for you, but some of you know what I'm talking about, why this is funny. Across the 2022-23 NBA season, each player will have one and only one base set play. Base set commons will have mint counts on 8,000 CC plus to start the season, with an additional 8,000 limited moments of the play stretched across unique base set parallels. More on these will come later in the week. Okay, I'll get to that when we get to the parallels. I'll make sure and pull up that post, okay? Just for reference, Series 1 had very mixed mint counts for the base set. Series 2 had mint counts of 4,000. Let's see if I got this right. 4,000, 12,000, 7,500, 15,000, 35,000, and 40,000, which is a lot. It sounds like a lot. They're not, every player doesn't have all of those mints, but some players have at least 3 of them. Some have a 40,000 and a 35,000. Compare that to Series 3, where the only 4 mints were 4,000, 12,000, 60,000, and 9,900, let's say. So on its face, this is significantly less than that. But let me see here. So it stands to reason. This is a whole nother question, but does it stand to reason that Series 2 base set was actually bigger than the Series 3 base set? A lot of people have a lot of feelings on that. I'm not gonna cross that bridge just now, but mathematically speaking, I think you can get a sense that Series 4 will be significantly scarcer. More on that later. Burning, for if you don't know, is usually pertaining to crafting challenges. It's when you are given generally a choice of moments additions that can fit the requirements for the crafting challenge. You put your moment, whatever it is, whether it's a TSD or a historical moment or a 4-badger or something that fits certain requirements for the challenges. The challenge page will usually tell you what it is, and then you put them in, and those moments are sent to an unrecoverable wallet, meaning they cannot ever be put back in circulation. They're not destroyed per se. Some people make it sound like it's being destroyed, but it's not really. It's just unrecoverable. Will never come back into circulation. You lose that value, but you get a moment that you could say absorbs that value by osmosis, by taking in all of the requirements and then being tested by the value that is put into it. So collectors will typically list their moments. This is the data backs this up, so this is not controversial at all. But collectors will typically mint a moment for the cost of whatever the challenge was. So in all likelihood, you'll be a part of the serial lottery, which will at least have listings that are at the cost of the challenge. So it's a way of burning supply. It's a way of getting rid of reducing supply, but also consolidating that into something new. So it's cool. To tip it off, Top Shot will burn 2+ million unreleased moments in our possession with a new campaign early in the season. Through the campaign, we expect approximately 5 million moments to be burned and permanently removed from circulation during the NBA season. This does not include moments burned by collectors as part of upcoming challenges. We don't know what this campaign is yet. More on that later. I think this is interesting. It sounds like 2 million plus with an option for 5 million more. We expect. I think my analysis based on their expectations, they have set up a challenge or a series of challenges or something that is related to NFL All Day's playbook. I can get into that in a second. In which they expect the requirements to get rid of 5 million moments permanently. That we will be putting in, they will be able to provide somehow value that corresponds to us wanting to remove permanently 5 million moments. And the sorry, the rewards would have to be pretty desirable for us to do that, because that is a lot. But Top Shot themselves will remove 2 million unreleased moments. A lot of the community has been asking for this. I think this is great. I think this does not make a huge dent in terms of, set completions and things that people might want to collect for utility. This, I believe there are 37 million total. This is, I believe, it could be 7% of all moments, but this is a lot. This will make a dent, but it will not close avenues permanently for collectors who want to collect sets, who want to collect like a base set, Series 3 or Series 2 or something like that. So this is a good start. The question is, can they do this at a rate that is both conservative so that you don't destroy too many things that people want, but also enough to get the market moving in the right direction? So, and this centers around how much growth we can expect and things like that. This does not include moments burned by collectors as part of upcoming challenges. Again, it's a very interesting sentence. I'm not entirely sure what it means. To be continued. I don't have any information that any more on this really. Challenges, yeah, this is pretty cursory. There's more on that in another post. The community has already removed 5 million moments from circulation through the locker room, which is a net burning. It's a net circulation removal mechanism that allows unspecified moments to be removed on the whole, but some of them can go back into circulation. But every time you remove a moment from circulation, because people are taking more out of circulation than putting moments back into circulation, there's a chance that the moment you put in today comes back into circulation just gets smaller and smaller, because less and less moments will come back into circulation than are taken out of circulation. So let's say it's a 1% chance that your moment comes out of circulation. That just goes down and down and down, because people are, for every locker pack, there's 4 coming out, 3 going in. So the math just works out that way. For the 2022-23 season, every time we mint new moments for our scheduled pack drops, a portion of every drop will go directly to the locker room to power up locker packs. Yep, that's new. That's cool. So new material in the locker room, new content, new IP, new moments in the locker room, low serials in the locker room. And this actually corresponds to parallels, because parallels, so there's 8,000 CC plus, and what CC plus means, for those of you who don't know, is there will be 1 through 8,000 to start, with an option to add more serials to the back end. So later in the season, Top Shot could decide we're minting 8,000 serial 8,001 through 12,000, or 12,001 through 16,000. So that exists. If you are buying one of these, if you are getting one of these, you need to know that the scarcity may be increased for these. That's what circulating count plus means. It means they have the option to add more, which then dilutes the value of what you have, which is, I guess, where parallels come in. We don't have any precedent for these yet. These have not been put into circulation or used in a challenge or anything like that. So we don't really have any information on how these will work in the game part of things, but more to come on that, because this piece of information here about the locker room suggests, I'm sorry, where was it? This piece of information here suggests that so when these are minted, right, the back end of these may go into the locker room, but also the low end may go into the locker room. So 100 through 150 may go into the locker room to start, just hypothetically as a random example, which means that if they mint 8,001 through 12,000, then lower serials will still be available. Whereas if all new material was coming out in packs, then the chances of you getting a lower serial in a pack drop become significantly less. Whereas now you have a chance through the locker room of lower serials coming back into circulation. So if they continue to juice up locker packs to the point where they're very, very desirable, then you have a chance at drawing lower serials, which makes the locker room packs more desirable, which makes people want to take moments out of circulation more, which means that prices will correspond to supply as there is less and less of floor moments. So this is actually, I think this is really smart. This is a great this is a great new idea here. And then team communities, we're all familiar with this, but if you don't know, in Discord, you will find Once you have completed a team series set, can I do this real quickly? I'll show you some of mine if you're not aware of this already. For this is primarily obviously for new users. I don't know what that is yet, but can I go to my collection? Yeah, my checklists. If you complete, let's say, here is my team, the Phoenix Suns. You complete Unique Series 1, Unique Series 2, Unique Series 3, Contemporary, or All Time. You can sync with Collabland and gain access to a Phoenix Suns channel or a Utah Jazz channel, which has, or a Celtics or the Thunder or the Mavericks, which gives you access to team-specific rewards like game tickets and moment giveaways and meetups and poker tournaments and all these fun things that are in there. I'm in 26 of them. I love it. It's one of the best decisions I've made on the site. Would highly recommend joining a team captain community if you don't know what that is. And if you do, I would recommend joining more of them. I think they're all great. They all have their different balances so that they're gated. For some of the more advanced collectors, that not all of the requirements for each of them are the same. I really enjoy, let's say, the Jazz community, the Raptors community, and the Lakers community, and a lot. There's so many good ones. So a lot of good stuff on that. I need to obviously keep track of time here. Okay, I'm really all right. I need to speed things up. So highly recommend the team captain challenges. Let's go through these. These are a bit easier to explain now that I've gone through the basics. NBA Top Shot challenges for the 2022-23 season. Weekly flash challenges. So a flash challenge, if you don't know, is the challenge that will happen on a semi-nightly basis. So as you'll see, they are scheduled typically for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday through Sunday. There will be select Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's a challenge that just comes up. The timer for completion is typically 24 to 48, sometimes 72 hours if it's the weekend, as previously said. So based on the number of completions, the challenge will fall into 3 new sets: the Challenge Pro, the Challenge Icon, the Challenge Champion. Champion is the hardest level of completions. So the lowest number of completions means the hardest requirements. 1,000 through 3,999, the Challenge Icon is sort of an intermediary tier, and 4,000 plus, the Challenge Pro. So the 2 most recent flash challenges we've had this year for the Zion Williamson and the Jason Tatum moments have fallen into this set, the Challenge Pro. So those are the first 2 moments minted from the flash challenge set. And that's basically all you need to know from this. There are some challenges that require you to remove moments permanently from circulation, and then there are some that require you to require moments that are removed permanently from circulation, i.e. burned, and then some that require you to just hold them. That's cool. We like that. I think that gives people a lot of paths. Some will be easier if they don't require removal, and then some are harder if they do. And then some will be, I'm sure, totally burning, and then some maybe not. There are also lockdown challenges, which are a new feature that came with the Run It Back 86-87 set. Hold on, I just want to make sure. Time, I'll keep track of that. Challenge award selections put together by the curation team within a, let's say, 24 to 72 hour period. Lockdown challenges are interesting. You have to lock a moment for a year. You can't sell it if you choose to lock, but you can still use it. You can't burn a locked moment, but you can hold it and use it as an unburned requirement in flash challenge. So for the hybrid challenges, you can use the non-burning pieces of the challenge. You can use locked moments. So there's been some confusion on that. That's what it always was. That's what it will continue to be until further notice. And predictions. This is fun. As far as I understand it, just pick the game winner. That's cool. I like that. We haven't seen this yet. We'll see what happens. That's pretty much that part of the roadmap. The tour, there will be events, one-of-a-kind Top Shot experiences in each city. So far, they have announced Portland, Toronto, Miami, and Paris. So if that is near you, feel free to get involved. I don't exactly know how yet, but that sounds fun. I would go. That could be really cool. You can get moments. You can hang out with other collectors. Have some food and beverages and things like that. I did one for the Nets community. It was pretty fun a couple of weeks back. Drops are interesting now. There are queues, of course, which means that you get into a queue. It is randomized. The participants are randomized, so not everyone gets the first spot in line right away. So everyone who gets in on time, your spot in the line, you get on a line basically, and your spot on line is randomized, and then you get the option to buy your pack. That's what we've been doing for the last 2 years. There are now the RSVP drops, which is really, really cool. Basically, what this means is you can sign up to put a hold on the funds that are required to buy the pack. And then after you put a hold on the funds, you'll be placed into a draw. And the winners of the draw will be emailed. And then if they'll email you and let you know if you got a pack. So that, then you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to wait. Sometimes it's been hours, so this is just at your convenience, and this is really great. This is just, this makes it easier on international collectors because a lot of the top drop times have been geared towards US users, West Coast users, East Coast users, etc. Hot packs, this is new. The chance at a rare, parallel, or rookie moment will be available in our $10 packs. So you'll get the 8,000 CC plus, you get the parallels, and you get a chance at a rare, a parallel, and a rookie debut. We have not seen this yet. These are going to be for $10. It's good. Really excited to see that. We don't really know how parallels will work, and that's what this is about. A new twist on base set collectibles. So there are different lower mints. One thing to watch out for is parallels being used as specific requirements. Instead of like you must have a mint below 12,000, it could be you must have a parallel mint below, let's say, 2,500. So we may need a couple of these going forward. I don't know that I personally am going to commit to them, but they're there. They look different than the base set moments. So this is cool with the sort of shininess here. That alone, I would get this over a base set. That would, I don't know, could be pretty cool. So that's kind of the basis with that so far. And so, as far as things that have not been covered, the thing we're supposed to get aspects of NFL All Day Playbook. This is for sort of more advanced users. We're supposed to get aspects of that, which is kind of like a story mode for collecting, for challenges, for your fandom. We have leaderboards already, obviously, but this is sort of more a comprehensive thing where, in NFL All Day, you would collect yards, and those yards would get you packs. So we still need to see. I'm wondering if that could be connected to the outstanding Series 1 through 3 packs that still remain in the locker. Like, for example, you need to collect this much in order to get yourself a Series 1 through 3 pack. If that's how that goes, that could be really fun for me because I'm a real hardcore collector. I've collected a lot, so it would give me an opportunity to use my collection to get more things. So Series 1 through 3 packs have not been mentioned in any of these 5. There are going to be 2 million burned, but we don't have specifics on the makeup of those burns yet. So to be continued on that, the Series 1 through 3 packs will be addressed at some point, I assume. We've got a lot on utility coming up. Collectors have been through in no particular order. Oh, excuse me. That was the wrong button. Collectors have been to see Magic Johnson. They just met him, I believe, on Friday, was it? Collectors just met Magic Johnson, and over here, and they just cooked with Cade Cunningham. So if you want to do those things, Top Shot is pretty much the only way I can think of to do those things. Really, really cool. So a lot of cool things happening. Team communities, parallels, reduced supply, burning from Top Shot, run it back lockdown challenges was a while back, but if you like legends like Hakeem and Patrick Ewing and Bill Laimbeer and Michael Cooper, these sets apply to you. You can take a look at those. Those were from September, and a lot of exciting things on the schedule. I wonder how burning is going to work from their end, and not a ton, I think, other than that I'm wondering about. I guess the next team leaderboard reward is on the horizon at some point. Player leaderboards, we could see more things like this. And if you need a breakdown on player leaderboards, check out this post here from September 27th. This will break it down for you and the different rewards based on the awards from the season. Nothing really else on that. Stay tuned for some more things from me. Thank you very much for watching. If you've learned anything today, feel free to drop a like on the video. If not, totally cool. Just wanted to give you all the information that we have.